Nerd On the Podcast is proudly partnered with Apogee Electronics and Odyssey Headphones, leaders in the field of audio. Okay.
Audio.
One of the Can We Talk About?
Yes.
What is, everyone? Welcome to Nerd On the Podcast you didn't need, but you deserve, where all levels of nerd are welcome.
Yeah, you are.
Today is a monumentous occasion.
Monumentous?
Yeah.
Momentous?
No, monumentous,
Okay.
because we're going to build a monument out of it.
Wow.
So everyone pose, and that'll be it. A monumentous occasion, as I said before, because not only is it our first full episode back in the studio,
Wow.
but we are also celebrating Nerd On's 200th episode.
200!
Wow. Everyone at home, I know you're going crazy. 2 hands on the wheel, 10 and
Yeah.
2,
Running
sitting
around.
up straight.
Yeah.
Don't run yourself off the road, okay?
I was looking it up today, and we're actually very close to 350 episodes.
Wow.
But like total with the update and everything?
Yeah, with the update, with every
bonuses.
It's a lot.
But this is our 200th official episode, and so to celebrate, we thought we'd do something a little relevant, timely. You know, we were thinking maybe Pokemon 2000. I know Tom loves that, but
Nostalgic AF.
it didn't seem on brand. So we thought, you know what? Maybe Zack Snyder's first adaptation, Frank Miller's 200. It's the prequel to 300. No, we're
Watch
kidding.
it.
You know that it is the classic animated film. Continue the story of Goof Troop with a Goofy movie.
If we listen to each other's hearts. Bouncer.
You.
No.
So anyway, to start things off, I'm Corey.
I'm Tom.
I'm Caitlin.
And I am Josh, and this episode is brought to you in part by the members of the Nerd On Nation that is powered by Patreon. As a member of the Nerd On Nation, you do get fun. They're fun, I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Fun perks.
We got to mess with him. I found out the other day when we mess with him, he doesn't mess up. But as soon as we leave him alone,
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't
you
handle it.
get fun perks, like you get bonus episodes that nobody else hears.
What else?
You, Tom,
What were you
crossed the line.
I always cross
No,
the line,
he
baby.
crossed the line.
No.
Bonus episodes that nobody else hears. Like recently, we talked about what did we talk about? Gatekeeping and the effects of it and what you can do about it.
Also, the Nerd On Minute, where we cover one topic in 1 minute. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. And you get early access to all of our episodes. You do get access to secret channels on our Discord server. Lots of fun stuff. So do check that out. And we're really close to a goal over there.
We
We're
are.
very, very
it's
close.
extremely close. See, it helps. We were
It
messing
really
with him
does.
the entire
I was
time. I
brushing
zipped
his
his
arm
pocket
hair.
up. That's what that was.
Yeah.
all in that time.
He's good at it.
So
really
nerdon.tv/Patreon. We're close to that goal of 60 members of the Nerd On Nation. And once we get there, the members of the Nerd On Nation will pick a topic for one of our episodes. So
Yeah, boy.
So that's pretty epic. I mean, I'm still going to shout them out, our partners, because we use them on our
Yes.
streams, Odyssey and Apogee. We would not have gotten through the pandemic
Yeah.
if we did not
Or
have...
my panic over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
They helped me out big time. My headphones.
Your panicdemic?
My panicdemic. My headphones. My headphone girlfriend stopped talking to me. She stopped saying power on and mute and stuff
Oh.
like that. And I felt real sad, and they came through. So
Yeah.
shout
Oh.
out.
He was replaced with
Nice.
his headphone boyfriend, me, being like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
yeah.
you turn it on?
Yep.
Did you turn it off?
He was like, "Let's smash."
Let's this guy fucks. So
Goofy movie.
yeah, so check out Apogee and Odyssey. They are amazing companies, amazing people that work there. And one last thing. If you like what you hear today, like what you see today, stop by, rate and review, share us with your friends, your family, subscribe, follow. All of that good stuff does help us. And leave a rating and a review.
Because if you do that, I'm going to give you a little shout out. You want to know who's going to get a shout out like that
I
right
do.
now?
I do
You
right now.
want to know because it's Liam.
Kaylee, you gotta tell me, Liam.
M90.
Liam!
M90.
M90.
Underscore M90.
From the UK.
From Great Britain. Gave
Yeah.
us a review.
doxing
Thank
them?
you.
Don't
yes.
dox them.
I mean, it's fine.
So nice.
And also,
they called it great.
Nate Hawk, 1989.
We know Nate Hawk.
We do know Nate Hawk.
Yeah, we
do. Yeah, we do.
Thank
Looking
you
at
for
you,
that.
Nate Hawk. Watch
Y'all
our video
review.
episode so you can see us look right in your soul. Come here, Josh.
Can y'all look in the center one? Because that's where we could all look.
Oh, we were just
That's
having a moment personally. With
Well, there
Nate
was,
Hawk.
yeah. Anyway,
that's
Caitlin.
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
So yeah, that is the housekeeping. Shall we get into this goofy this goofy episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and that's going to
Gorge.
bring us to our first two segments of the show. This is so weird doing this, and I'm not.
It
gonna lie.
actually really is. It's kind of uncomfortable. Like we haven't done this in over 14
I'm like
months.
way more comfortable. I don't know
No.
about you guys.
No.
I'm actually pretty cozy.
Yeah,
I-
Caitlin gets it.
I'm like
Yeah.
a saved animal from the wilderness, and
Yeah.
like, don't
Okay,
touch me.
it's okay, buddy.
Bring me back in my cage.
I'm not
Um,
that uncomfortable. But.
But yeah, our first two segments of the show where we are I guess it deals with the end of the episode.
Yes.
So right now, our first one will be
Guess that grump.
Come alive. It's the first song.
Oh.
I knew it was going to be too much for me to interject, so I just waited for it to happen.
Baby, I compare you to a goof on a rose.
Oh my god, that's enough.
All right.
Anyway,
So if you're brand spanking new to Nerd On and Guess That Grump segment,
First of all, we're sorry,
and
But
you're-
we're not.
But you're welcome.
but also you're welcome.
This is the segment where we're gonna go around the room, around the table, not
Yes,
the
we
digital
are.
screens.
God.
And guess who's going to have the lowest rating from 1 out of 5? No matter how high the number is, it's going to be the lowest one. It'll be the grump
Yeah.
for the week.
Yep.
Yep. And this is a little bit new. We started incorporating this right before we got back in the studio, where we actually have written down our ratings, so we will never get swayed by the wonderful people. And you'll find out how to get involved with that soon. Since I always explain, that part's a little new. This is all freaking me out. Caitlin, go first.
I think it's going to be Josh.
Very
Whoa.
good. Very good.
With the quickness.
With the good.
Caitlin with the quickness. Josh with the quickness.
I got
Spite
him
vote.
so off guard.
5.
Caitlin.
It's gonna be Caitlin.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Tom, who you
That's
got?
fine.
This is a hard one.
I know.
Who your money's on?
I just
It's a hard
picked.
one.
I just picked.
Caitlin.
What?
Okay.
Easy.
You're just siding with Josh to get on his good side.
No, I don't know if you have a history
He
with this
doesn't.
movie.
He doesn't really care about being on my good side.
That's fair.
Caitlin. For Tom's exact point. But let me tell you about something real close. Are you screaming in your car right now, being like, "You idiots!" It's clearly Corey. He's the grown-up. He doesn't like things.
He walks like Goofy.
Yeah, I do. I relate. But listen, if you're frustrated about who we vote for, guess what? If you join the Nerd On Nation, you could throw your vote in. And if you get it right, you get a shout out on the show because you'll be the Guess That Greater Goof Troop Guesser Grumper Powerline Perfect Casting Grumper.
Wow.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. I
So
like it.
Thank you,
with
Julie.
that, the Nerd On Nation has spoken, and
Oh, you are kidding me.
Josh,
Ha!
you are.
Ha!
Okay, man,
I
dark.
mean, all right. Oh my
9 total votes. So thank you all for
Wow.
voting. We will see. we
Wait,
will-
9 votes for me?
no, total.
Total.
Oh,
Total
okay,
votes.
got it.
Total
I was gonna be
votes.
like, damn!
You had 44% of the votes. So math nerds
I
out
thought you were
there,
gonna say
get
44
back-
votes. I was like,
out of
Damn.
9 votes, you had 44 of them. So we are at 140% capacity.
Wow.
damn!
But yeah, if you get it right, we'll give you a shot on the show.
Mm.
So that means the order will be Tom and I first, followed by Josh and then Caitlin.
All right.
So that's that, and we close the book on that moment.
And now
You're
we
just
go.
glad you went last.
Now we go to the complete spoiler of that segment with now our initial reactions.
Yes.
And our first impressions.
Yes.
Of the film. I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Wow.
First of all, shout out to my sister.
Shout out.
to my full-blooded sister. I have half sisters. Shout out to them.
Samesies.
But I grew up with one in particular, Tammy. Her name's Tammy.
Yeah, the Tommy and Tammy
yes, yes,
situation.
yes.
Yeah.
This was one of our favorite films to watch as a kid. We had the clamshell white VHS.
Hell yeah.
And this was a film that I think solidified why Disney was a household name for us. We had a lot of Disney collectible, like statues and figurines, stuff like that. And Goofy Movie was always just something that we came back to, regardless if it was like Nightmare Before Christmas, that was more of a seasonal thing. Goofy Movie was always like a everyday kind of thing. Again, sticking to non-spoilery
Yep.
stuff. I think this is like the best Disney animated film
No wonder.
because they're not taking a Hans Christian Andersen property and copywriting it to hell
Because it's original.
because it's their character. And Walt Disney got his fucking vengeance to Universal for Paramount for Oswald. I get it.
Yeah.
But now he got to create his own characters and have his own copyright. I'm like, cool, good for you. You actually did something with your life. So, that being said, instead of taking other characters and being like, no one else could use them, So, but other than that, it's a continuation of a TV series, which I thought was really, really cool and fun. But also it.
This is during the golden age of Disney as well.
Yeah, this is the Renaissance time,
Yeah.
and I think it's just
That's the
great.
90s,
Disney's Disney
right?
Renaissance.
Mhm.
Yeah, late 80s. It started with Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Through
And
the
then Beauty and the Beast,
mid-90s. Yeah.
and Lion King and Pocahontas.
Yeah.
But like it tends to just be very timeless, even though that the technology within it is very indicative of the time, because it kind of works its way being a very good nostalgia bomb
Mhm.
in a way where like you're just like, oh, I really enjoy it, and you know what time frame this is, and,
Like with the cassette tape and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So.
That wasn't a cassette tape. That was a beta.
Yeah,
I
well,
was like,
yeah,
go,
right,
man.
right. Yeah.
and that's
Good point, good point.
And that's I think the kind of the sad tragedy of this film is that it didn't blow up bigger than it did.
Mhm.
And a lot of people I think got burned by Aladdin, Return of Jafar,
Mhm.
and like the Hercules animated series. So I just like, wow, this movie really came in at the wrong time, because I think if it were to come out now, it would be, everyone would be like, an original
Did you see Goofy movie?
about one of the original characters.
Yeah.
Like we would love to see like the Donald Duck meets Daisy movie, you
Mhm.
know, like those kinds of, or like
Yeah.
an actual like, you know, with Huey, Louie, and Dewey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Huey,
like,
Dewey, and Louie.
yeah,
I mean, that's why
yeah.
DuckTales was so praised, the comeback, because it was like, oh my god, fresh content with like timeless characters.
Yeah, but then this works as well for kids and for parents. So
Right.
like it is a great family film. But yeah, I absolutely enjoy it, and I will talk a little bit more of why I think this is better than most other original Disney animated films.
Cool. I kind of same park as you. I think I saw this in theaters with my dad. My dad was a
Wow.
huge Disney
Mm.
Disney nerd. He used to call us. My parents are separated, but my dad used to call us. And his story, the way he tells it is, we'd go, "Hi, Dad, can I talk to someone else?" He's like, "You don't want to talk to me?" He's like, "No, I want to talk to Goofy." So he would do all the voices and stuff.
Oh.
And so we saw this together, and I dad stuff.
I was gonna say. So this movie is
it's
dad stuff.
It's a dad stuff movie.
A dad movie.
It's all dad stuff, and I'm a sucker for that stuff. And this may be part of the reason. This movie may have instilled part of that. Who knows? But I don't think there's an unnecessary scene in this movie. And definitely up there on when I was younger with top animated cartoon crushes of all time. But yeah, a lot of this is so. I probably haven't watched this in more than 15 years, you know. But I was reciting parts, and I was like, stuff is burned into my brain about this movie. To Tom's point, I think it hit at the wrong time, the right movie at the wrong time, for the general populace. But for me, and especially like someone my age, I think it was the right movie at the right time. So I will go into that further with Tom as well. But I liked the movie.
Wow.
He said the thing.
Yeah,
He said the
I
thing.
that thing.
I'll go next. I think we should,
Keep
for
them-
dramatic purposes.
Yeah, keep them waiting.
So I've never seen this movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Not even
No,
one
not
time.
even once. Not even preparing for this
today.
episode.
I've never seen Goofy.
Goofy movie?
What is Goofy?
Goofy. Goofy.
No, so
Go Fifi.
Goofy's my favorite Disney character.
And
And yeah, there was a time in my life where and my dad was a Disney guy, and he's one of those a Disney man.
Just even-
And he was the type of person that like for Christmas I'd get a new Goofy thing. And like this cup is actually probably 30 years old.
oh wow,
Oh.
that cup is older than me.
Yeah, dude.
Wow,
Yeah.
Baby.
hell
No.
yeah.
Just turns into
Just
dust.
dust.
Yeah.
I don't feel so good. Mr. Stark.
I was
Anyway.
gonna go for a mummy reference, but that's better. That's more timely.
It's within the same franchise.
Yeah.
So getting prepared for this episode, I watched this movie probably like 3 times. It was just like
It's a very
and
easy watch.
Yeah, it's an easy watch. You're watching it, and it's a movie that just goes by quickly. But I remember when it came out, I probably watched it so many times. What year did it come out? 1995.
1999.
1995?
1990.
Dana guessed it on the money when we were watching it. She's like, "What year is this?"
5.
Hey!
Proud of you.
Okay, so I was 10. I was 42 years old. No, I was 10, and my little brother was 3. So I watched it so many times with him babysitting,
Yeah.
and because my brother would do this thing where he would just like pick a movie and we just watched it for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So I'd seen it so
Playing
many
with mu-
times.
music.
I had no idea that it was so low rated.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Mhm.
didn't even fathom it. I was like, what?
I will regale everyone with the
Because I
critical
watched it-
reviews that
Yes.
has.
I watched it 3 times to try to
Yeah.
like understand. Like we always talk about behind the scenes of like, oh, you watch it once to enjoy it, then you watch it again for a critical
Exploration.
analysis, and then the third time I was just like, what the fuck, man?
I'm gonna watch this to hate it. and I
I'm gonna
couldn't.
watch it, and I was just like, all right, man. So initial reaction is, damn, that's a good movie.
Okay.
D is for damn. That's a good
Damn.
movie.
Caitlin?
Shout out to Neil.
I like this movie.
There it is.
Done. Done.
I watched it when I was a kid,
Yep.
and
shit.
a bunch of scenes were like burned into my mind, but
Singing
I had
along
forgotten.
with the songs.
No, I actually couldn't remember how things went. I just remembered parts of it because I
Mhm.
also
Like
watched
things
the
would happen,
second
you'd be like,
one.
oh.
Right, because
They're
I
like
had
vignettes.
seen extremely. That was painful to hear. I remembered extremely goofy movie, but
Oh.
my brain had melded them together,
Why are we
so I
wearing
didn't
gloves?
remember.
To one ultimate.
Yeah,
goofy
to one
movie.
ultimate goofy movie, which I would love. But so watching through this now, there's like interesting family things that I didn't pick up on that felt very
You're an adult
real.
now, and you're like, oh, I understand now.
Well, also like kind of the hoedown stuff. Like I grew up
Ah.
in,
Possum Park.
a
Also,
little more south in the
I know
Midwest.
spoilers. Never mind.
So
Hold on. I was gonna say.
yeah,
I was gonna do something else. I was gonna say something else, but I'll wait.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they're like the way they incorporated music into everything, and it actually felt very natural, and the way that things were.
I went, oh yeah, this is a musical.
Yeah, it's a
I totally
musical.
forgot.
Mhm.
Yeah, you think of Powerline, and you're like, the music is right there, and then you're like, oh no, this whole movie has it, and
Yeah.
boy, the logic gaps. My brain had a real fun time with that because this
mole in the back of the head.
this is a goofy movie.
Yes.
Mhm. It's
It's
not.
in
And
the title.
logic
It's a cartoon.
does not belong there.
Hey,
No.
hey, Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see your hand.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
but
It's a
but
kids'
the thing
movie.
is,
It's
the
movie
difference
about space wizards intended for
Yeah.
children.
But the difference is, to Caitlin's point, it is a goofy movie. It's
Yeah.
not Beauty and the Beast.
And
where,
his
like, if
logic
you
is different a little bit too.
Well, like if you fall off a cliff, you die in a Beauty and the Beast movie. In Goofy movie, you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
very
Well,
different.
I will get into some things later that I was like, oh my god.
I noticed some things that I was like, which I'm going to bring up.
Yes,
that I was like,
we will
can we
talk
talk
about it.
about
I'm pretty sure we're gonna have at least one of the same ones. But yes, so I liked the
Not bad
movie.
things. I was just things that I went,
Oh,
oh yeah.
yeah.
So that gives everyone an idea of what our ratings might be, how wrong we were to vote, and why maybe the audience was 100% correct.
Yeah, could
But
be.
we'll move on to the next 2 segments
Yes.
where we're going to talk about the brief synopsis and the production. And we didn't plan any of this, so I'm going to give this to Josh.
Nice.
Oh, I was like, I'll do
He
it.
was
Here we go.
adamant that I couldn't open the show. So,
Yeah, I give it to everyone.
Airing our dirty laundry. Oh, ho, ho, hoy.
though Goofy always means well, his amiable cluelessness and klutzy pratfalls regularly embarrass his awkward adolescent son, Max. When Max's lighthearted prank on his high school principal finally gets his longtime crush, Roxanne,
Mhm.
to notice him, he asks her on a date. Max's trouble at school convinces Goofy that he and the boy need to bond over a cross-country fishing trip like the one he took with his dad when he was Max's age, which throws a kink in his son's plans to impress Roxanne.
Roxanne!
That is not the same one.
You don't have to goof on that red light.
That would be a very different movie.
I'd watch
That's
it.
called an extremely inappropriate goofy
An
movie.
extremely
I
inappropriate.
hear the drum beat from Pornhub going on right now.
Anyway,
Hey.
And the production will be given to you by me. And so the film is distributed by Buena Vista Pictures, aka Disney. But Buena Vista Pictures particularly gave us things such as The Rocketeer, The Living Desert, and The Black Hole. Hey! I had to look these up, and I was like, what movie did Buena Vista actually do?
Yeah.
And the director is Kevin Lima, who has directed films such as Tarzan, 102 Dalmatians, and Enchanted. Also on Twitter, follow him. He's a nice guy. Producer Dan Rounds, who has produced films such as Prince and the Pauper, Peter Pan 2, Return to Neverland. The writers, Jim Magon, who wrote things such as DuckTales, Goof Troop, Superhuman, Samurai Cyber Squad.
Tom, made me watch an episode of that at work.
Superhuman Samurai. That's so bad, but so
It
good.
was so good. I mean, it's not any worse than Big Bad Beetleborgs.
It's so dumb.
So-
But Matthew Lawrence plays
Yeah.
it anyways. The second writer is Chris Matheson, who wrote such things as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and
Hell
Ted's
yeah.
Bogus Journey, and Imagine That.
Whoa.
Brian Pimental wrote things such as Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Brother Bear.
You gave Josh a raging nerd on
I
with
know.
those Bill and
I
Ted.
did.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
The cast:
He
Bill
did.
Farmer from Space Jam, Porco Rosso, and Yakuza, Like a Dragon. Jason Marsden from Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
Check out that episode. Boy Meets World and Spirit Away. Check out that episode too. Jim Cummings, who
Everything
has
Disney.
been in Winnie the Pooh, particularly Aladdin and Princess and the Frog. Kelly Martin from A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. That's my childhood. The Batman and The Face of the Milk Carton. Rob Paulson from Pinky and the Brain.
Mhm.
Carcerum. Check out that episode.
Yep.
Jimmy Neutron.
Well
Wallace. All right. Yeah, I'm killing it, man. Wallace Shawn, The Princess Bride. Check out that episode. Toy Story and The Incredibles. We don't have those in yet.
No.
Yet.
There's going to be a point in our
Everything you
episodes
need,
where
check
it's just like check out that episode.
Well,
check out that
typically,
episode.
so for the video, you would have that little thing where it's like, check out that episode
Ding,
that they're referencing to. And it's like, oh,
You
just
hear that, Julie?
We love you.
Jenna Von Oy from The Parkers, Blossom, and Pepper Ann.
Sorry, Julie.
And can't forget Tevin Campbell from Moesha, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Graffiti Bridge. Release date, as Josh so accurately guessed, April 7th, 1995. Runtime, 78 minutes. The budget, $18 million, which is actually a lot for an animated
Yeah.
film. Only grossed 37.6, which is great by all means, but not,
Not
to
by
Disney.
Disney.
Not to Disney.
Because guess what else did something like that? Princess and the Frog. And they were
Yeah.
like, what a failure. And you're like,
Yeah.
you doubled your money.
Not
No.
enough.
That's not enough, man.
We didn't triple it.
The
I'll-
Rotten Tomato score,
go off on that.
58% from
What?
critics.
Wait, before you go into that, can I just get my tea before you
Your
wreck
tea?
the
Is
critics?
that tea?
This is my tea. I'm gonna sip on.
Okay, it looks
Tom.
like water, but
Well,
that's
Tom,
fine.
You weren't here on
What is tea but dirty water?
Rude. Delicious.
Yeah,
Um,
delicious dirty. I didn't say it's not.
58% from critics from 26 sad, angry people. And then 70%
Tastes good.
from audience from 250,000 plus users who have
Oh.
souls and don't hate the person that looks at them in the miror. That is all the production.
I feel like the critics
That tasted good, Tom.
who I feel like the critics who rated it honestly probably have really bad relationships with their parents. And then when they saw this, they were like,
Oh, dad
I
things.
hate this. This makes me think of the dysfunctional family I grew up with and never reconciled with.
My dog father.
I'm so glad, Caitlin, you brought that up because
Didn't
guess
bring-
what I brought with me to the table? Some of the reviews from Rotten
God.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, you did.
Here's the critic consensus.
Yeah, of course you
A
did.
goofy movie offers enough of its titular ingredients to satisfy younger viewers, even if most parents will agree that this beloved character deserves better.
You played yourself.
Another one from New York Times, a reputable place, right? A goofy movie is engaging in its mild-mannered way, but the story is too rambling and emotionally diffuse for the title character to fully come alive.
New York Times, your review is too rambling and confusing for me to care.
Don't you like it when Variety drops a character announcement for the next like big IP franchise? Not like this. None too edifying for adults. This is pretty much a small fry only offering that will do predictable biz at mall matinees. These are all reviews
Just
from,
like your magazine.
these are all reviews from 2011 and like 2000. Then I'm like, you're
Wow.
writing these reviews like several years later, and you guys are pieces of shit. I'm sorry. But
Tom's
then
been on a kick recently where he's just like, I'm going full
it's
out.
like Tom v. Critics.
he's
That's-
going
that's
he's
the live of my
he's,
life.
he's going
Violent.
full on.
The thing is, like, I wouldn't. As a filmmaker, I have to try to garner a good relationship with critics because they can literally control my career. But like
Mhm.
at the same point, it's like you aren't trying to engage with the movie. You're pretty much just trying to whittle it down to the stupid category of will it make money or won't it make money? Why people shouldn't watch it? And you're like, well,
I got a secret. It is a kids movie. Like,
What?
I hate to tell you that Variety New York Times bullshit shit,
What?
but it's a movie made for kids and maybe meet it at that level.
Well, the tough thing is kind of like that.
They're like, but no one had a meaningful death. There was no drug use that I could relate to. Yeah.
And so right
It's a
now,
goofy movie.
we'll
Are
get
you
into
sure?
the spoilers.
It was a little.
We'll get into the spoilers and do our favorite characters, favorite parts, our ratings and our qualms, all that stuff, not in that order. But to talk about some of the plot breaking stuff or the plot spoiling stuff, the resolution for this film is something that I guarantee you, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who would love it, but would also, and I feel bad to say this, the uncultured swines would hate the resolution for the film because it doesn't have a typical resolution where one lesson is learned above all else. Because the lesson at the end of the day, Max is the protagonist. We're walking through his journey. Who is his antagonist? Goofy, his father. And the resolution isn't that one's right or the wrong, but they have to
Meet in the middle.
compromise.
Yeah.
And that's not a hero story in most circumstances. So like
You're also putting your
You're
subverting
selling-
isn't the right word, but you're taking a character like Goofy and you're putting him in situations where he's like not the mean dad, but
No.
he's taking control.
Well, he's
you know,
trying to. So what I got from it is it's just like his lesson was you can't force your past on your children, and you have
Under
to
the thumb
understand
doesn't work.
you're gonna have to understand that they will grow up, and you just have to meet them at that level, and that's okay. That's part of
And
life. And Max
learns-
learns. Go ahead.
Yeah, he learns that he can have his own life, but it's important to have his dad part
It's
of it.
yeah, important to include your dad, and you can include your dad in the things
Yeah.
you love.
And
It doesn't have to be black and white.
And they get both what they want. Like the acceptance of like the perfect cast is literally a developed built-in plot device in this film that
it's a little
has
MacGuffin-y.
well, it gets used to save Goofy's life. So Max embraces it and uses it, and then also Max encourages Goofy to use that. I don't know why his name's Goofy. Is his name Goofy Goof?
Yes.
Crazy. At the very end,
not
and I'm
that
just like-
crazy.
it's a little crazy. It's like Mario, Luigi, Mario, for me. But it's like that where it's like, yeah, this is literal. You could see development being done in front of your eyes in a kids movie. And I'm not a big fan of like musicals, to be honest. Obviously, Disney musicals are one thing or the other, but this film uses its musical elements in a very like smart, plot-driven way,
And
where-
in a narrative fashion.
in a narrative fashion, because the first song is just like kind of explaining what the world is, but also what Max's our intentions are.
Yeah.
And it does it in such a way where it's like, oh wow, like you could really hit the metal to the pedal to the metal.
Yeah. Metal
you can hit
to the pedal.
You can hit two things together and just hit the road and go really
Yeah.
fast. And it's just like really well done. And so like as a narrative standpoint, you're like, I can't help but be impressed at how quickly and functionally this movie works.
Well, it's all, I mean, for me, like watching it as an adult and being somebody that had musical theater training, like I can't stand when you watch a musical. You probably have seen a musical where it just like
I have seen
goes-
a musical.
when it just goes into song and you're like,
Oh,
no, have
it's supposed to come from somewhere, right?
like it's like a song can either be a monologue or a scene,
Mhm.
and it should have narrative movement, not just
That's
like
why that
here's a
Monty
song.
Python bit is so funny. It's
Mhm.
like, I've always wanted to sing. And you're like, no singing.
Yeah.
No singing.
So it was nice to watch this and have like a meaningful progression of events of like, yeah, of course it's gonna go into a song here. This is
And
But
then sometimes they have the song like the Possum song, which
it's perfect.
with the breaking down electronics, loved it.
God, the nails for fingers.
Yeah.
Like
the-
literally
Little
nails.
nails through a board.
The little kid.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be
I
grotesque.
know. And boy.
To me, it almost felt a little like accidentally like reflective, like Possum Park, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
oh,
Like this is
yeah.
like
100%.
where families go and people don't, and kids who are growing out of their youth like are getting dragged by their parents to go to these places. Like I remember, I think feeling that way as a kid, like when you're too cool or too grown up for kisses from your parents, you know.
mhm.
And I was like, there's a lot of, I think, identifiable features from Max in that sense of like, yeah, I don't want to be dragged back into my childhood. Like, I'm trying to figure out how it is to be an adult, and anything I want to do is not like you.
Favorite parts?
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm gonna go 1st.
Mhm.
It was a joy to see the blue Disney logo.
Oh yeah.
Like there was like because I forgot.
Oh,
It's like seeing
yeah.
Miramax recently. I've been seeing Miramax
Yeah.
up again, and I'm like, oh yeah. And seeing that, I was like, oh, like a whole bunch of like memories just came on down. But
it felt like a small studio. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like a giant mega empire.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
I like that your first
the opening,
When
the logo.
When they see the castle.
when they see the castle over
for
the
first
lake.
time.
My
Um,
favorite part was when I found it on the streaming service and I got
When
to
I pressed
see,
play.
I saw a Goofy movie poster.
The moment I cracked
It's
open
really
that
good.
clamshell,
So good. I was like, I know what I'm watching.
and that whirring of the
My
Yeah.
favorite part was when we decided to do this as an episode.
Continue though.
Continue. No, I love the opening song. I love that. Like in my mind, I just think it's so fun. The idea of taking over like a school assembly
Yeah.
and then like impressing all, because he's like made fun of. He's seen as lower than all these
Little
other people.
nerd,
Little nerd, a
So,
dork.
After
He's a
Today song?
dork.
After
Yeah.
Today or okay.
Yeah, and then but it after today, and
And
then
the
it
power
goes,
line
and then
song.
the power
Stand
line
Out.
thing.
We
It's
got
just
this song.
it's just so much fun.
I would say out of the Tevin Campbell songs, Eye to Eye is my fucking
100%.
But like Standout's really nice too, just because I think for me as a straight male boy, I very much identify with the like being a loser and wanting to impress the person that you're wanting to impress, and that song. It's cool because it works in two ways, right? It is a song from this fictional character in this universe that's really fucking good, and it's
Michael Jackson stand-in, yeah.
referential to Michael Jackson, but Max performs it.
Mhm.
So it's kind of him performing the song, and you have not yet even seen who Powerline is. You've seen a cardboard cutout, and so he's in the suit and he's performing the song, and it's actually expressing his motive, and it's reinforcing the after today.
There's a reason he chose that song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's after today. I'll talk to Roxanne. Da, 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 all that shit happens, and it's kind of like, oh, this is what it is. This was the plan that they're talking about. Because at first, you get the phone call from PJ, and it's like, oh, you're supposed to be here an hour earlier, and it's like, for
Got
what?
that almost Back to the Future-esque
Yeah,
like,
all the quickness.
entrance.
Yeah, so
For me, I mean, all of those things, but the entire Bigfoot sequence
Oh
is
my
one of my
God.
favorite things in the entire movie.
And that's
it
a-
always has been when I was little. Like from the moment he's caught, and you see like Pete pull his RV back in and everything, and they're finally like, is he still here? And the sock puppets come up.
actually antagonizing them. It gives Bigfoot a personality that you don't think would happen anymore.
And it just like the whole thing kills me. And then of course you have the like really sweet moment,
Hi, Dad Soup.
the Hi Dad soup. Ugh. And
And
how
you
he
just
opens it with his
melted.
teeth, and the Hi Dad soup, and of course I love you, Dad. Shout out to my dad. Snores like a mofo.
Mhm.
So that's
The
where he's
eyes
sitting
of
there. That was my life.
Getting those quarry eyes.
So I that whole like from start to finish, the moment they catch Bigfoot to the moment they get out of there, like is such a special scene to me. Like
Wow.
it's an up and down. Like you get all of it.
Bonnie and I have. I forgot that they did this in the movie when he gets the headphones on his head and he's like
Yeah.
reacting. Like Bonnie and I will do that when like a funky music will come out. We're like, what?
But like you also have in the scene, like you have the conflict. You have the map pop out in front
Yeah.
of him.
Oh, it's
And
so
he's got to make
intense.
the decision. Is he going to change it? Is he not? And he decides he's going to do it. And his dad almost wakes up. And like, it's
That was
a lot rests in that scene. And I think it's really well done.
I remember watching that as a kid and being so anxious watching that scene
Oh,
because
yeah.
the pencil snaps and then he writes with the
Yeah.
lead. And I mean, so
Well,
many,
and it's kind of fate-like, right? Because the pencil like rolls out from the
Oh,
light.
yeah.
And
it's
like,
heavenly.
Yeah.
It's the only thing illuminating his face, and they dramatize it. So
So good.
That's
Caitlin?
also 100% why some kids of the 90s know who the Bee Gees are.
Yeah.
that and Short Circuit.
Yeah.
Caitlin.
I really liked getting to see Goofy and Pete at the day job, which is like
Mm.
taking photos of children. That
So
You
Goofy
weren't
is
scared by the Velcro?
Caitlin just
that was pre
Right. Oh, okay.
That was
today.
pre-Velcro.
Just so everyone understands what's happening. Today, I picked up Velcro and it stabbed through my thumb.
Yeah.
Like all the little bristles
She'll
stabbed
never be able to watch
through
that
my
scene
skin.
again.
So
So
now
now,
that's a horror
when
movie.
Pete slaps
but
that
before,
Velcro on that child's
She's like,
bottom.
oh Jesus!
Velcro shoes are actually a torture device.
Yeah.
You're like, ah!
All in the butt?
But they're at the Photoshop day job, and like Goofy, master of comedy, he is swallowing the squeaker by accident,
Squeaky.
but it works. And
Yeah.
he's just like,
And I love that Pete thought, like Pete has such this confidence about him that I'm really good at everything. And then
I
he
love
starts
it.
doing
I
it,
love it.
and he's actually
Master
the
gaslighter,
worst.
like the most
He
gaslighting
to me
character.
is like proto Mr. Krabs.
Yes.
And it's so like all business, no emotion. I'm right, you're wrong. And when I'm wrong, then
I'm
more,
not
it's
really
for, It's for
wrong.
comedy.
and they set him up so well in that scene too.
Like
Like
he's so good.
And Pete does try to be a friend, but it's always in a way that's terrible.
You have
Like,
to be.
even
you have to
when he-
remember, Pete's a cat, Goof's a dog.
But also in Goof Troop, Pete owned a good, honest Pete's used cars.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah.
all,
He's
and
like
also,
Biff.
Pete is always usually the antagonist.
Yes.
Goofy.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
He was
it's-
originally created for Mickey, so cat and mouse.
Mhm.
But it works well. He started working well with Goofy, and then Goof Troop
And in
came
Kingdom
out.
Hearts, he's
Yeah.
a villain. He works with Maleficent.
I also like that Mickey and Donald were hitchhiking their
Yeah,
way
cameos?
to California.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the open
One of the can we talk about?
Yes.
So
Oh my
during
God.
Open Road,
Yes.
Dead Man.
Yes.
there's a guy
a
on the
zombie.
trunk
Yeah. Well, because
with
like it's a
cement shoes.
It's a kids movie, right? So they show the casket, and then to immediately be like, "But it's okay."
No, there's a guy in a trunk who has cement shoes.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought you were talking about the zombie
No,
dancing on
there's
top
the,
of the hearse.
So
They're
there's the
the
zombie,
mafia.
but also
The mafia,
mafia
is in
car.
this-
I missed that one.
Which to me again offers to, I think Caitlin was talking about earlier about this is a cartoon, this is a goofy movie.
The animators were like, "Fuck yeah, I'm
You
putting
put it
that in."
up, like they slowly bring you in like this is wild, and it kind of breaks like because to me you start thinking about like Les Mis or that's I don't know that's a good example, but like when human beings break into song, it's very like but why? And I know writing wise.
I like that Les Mis.
like a Les Mis, you know, like just any live action, right?
Les
Sure,
Mis.
anything.
Goofy movie.
I love it.
Oklahoma.
I like
Annie,
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge, all of it.
Les Mis is, I think, actually my favorite. But no, it's just very weird to see live action human beings like breaking a song, unless it's like hokey, unless they do like some kind of narrative thing, like why people breaking a song. But for a cartoon, it makes a lot of sense.
I was so focused on the zombie, I missed the guy with the.
Yeah,
Because
there
they show
was-
the hearse.
There
and then
was
he's,
zombie, and then in the back of a car with
It's
this
very
guy
quick.
tied up with
Mhm.
like full cement
Oh my God.
thing,
Mhm.
and he's like singing along,
So,
real excited.
love it.
And the
Love
song
it.
starts, and you have the nuns, and then you have
Uh-huh.
the old time player with the country girls come up, and so it's like, okay, we're going more and more insane, crazy. There's a girl, there's an old cat lady, but at the end of the song, like Goofy hums the song,
Mhm.
so it's like, did that really happen,
Yes.
or did that not happen?
The answer
And-
is yes.
And that's the thing where like in a Goofy movie, you don't have to explain. Like this is the same universe where Pluto is like running around trying to nab the Chippendales,
Mhm.
right? Or Chip and Dale. Not the Chippendales.
The Chippendales dancers.
It's a little different. That's
Pluto loves
that
Chippendales.
is an extremely sexy Goofy
He spends
movie.
his weekends at in
The
Vegas.
We're not
inappropriate.
here to judge.
But like Goofy will be getting chased by like a live like a piano and
Yeah.
and broomsticks have legs.
His
like,
car explodes,
and he survives.
and he survives fine, even though
Oh,
the shoes
yeah.
are still there.
Like-
Even though the shoes came off, which
but that's
usually means you
something
I
die.
really did have a moment where I was like, they killed him?
But you can't see that happening in Little Mermaid. You
No.
won't see like a fried lobster in the kitchen being like, "I'm also with you, Sebastian." You're like, "No."
No, that
This is
lobster-
wrong.
He's gonna die if
They're
the chef
dead.
catches him.
Well,
he
you
dies.
see dead fish, and you're like,
Yeah.
that guy ain't gonna come singing.
No.
Like, you know? But
Well,
they
he
could do that.
will,
They could do
but
that
for
here in
murder.
Goofy Movie, which is different from the other
Under the
animated
grease.
films. So,
Oh.
hot grease.
Under the flames.
Oh my god.
Another I guess.
Down here with Ryan
Uh,
while
uh,
we are dying.
we-
Under the grease.
If we haven't said it already, Eye to Eye is an
Oh, the
absolute
whole
Yeah.
power line concept.
Yeah. It's
is
wonderful.
great. I think just the whole
Well,
like
and they don't explain that either. They just sneak in. They don't explain how they get.
yeah they're
In the-
flying
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden like
they're in the instruments. Like
Yes.
they're just like,
Why not?
yeah, but you don't go. But how?
yeah.
You're just like, oh,
How?
that
She
makes
does.
sense. I do, but not for long.
No, because then you go. That tracks.
Yeah.
But like
It's a
that
cartoon.
Bigfoot was putting on a sock puppet show about 30 minutes ago.
that whole sequence, if you literally just started from the moment they get thrown in the instruments, like you can have that's a whole movie. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. They snuck in, obviously, and they're trying to do something, and you follow along, all the music's going on, and like all the hijinks that happens, being chased by the bouncer.
nonstop, metal to the pedal,
like-
nonstop.
Yes, exactly. But then and it all like culminates right at the end, and Roxanne and Stacy all see him on TV, and it's like this really
I love that
wonderful-
moment.
Yeah.
Like when everybody sees him, because I'm
But
like,
then he has to be
Yeah.
honest at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
It's not the end. That's not the
and
lesson.
the dad. The big dad just makes me laugh every time.
I love
so
that she
good.
pats him and is like, good
Come on.
boy, good dad,
Good
go.
But that he still has to come clean and learn the lesson of like, I got to be honest.
Mhm.
Because that was a big part of the lesson, being honest with people,
And
including his dad.
The line right before that, Goof is like, you have to do what's right. And it's like, if she doesn't, accept it, maybe she's not the right
wasn't
one for
meant
you.
to be.
Wasn't
Yeah.
meant to be. And he's like, I know. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm like,
No.
that's really
That's
adult.
the real one.
That's a real adult move.
That's
of like,
the realist.
Wingman goof.
But like also they parallel the meet cute with
Mhm.
the paper on the ground, which I'll say, all you shout out, all the homies. If you had a crush on Roxanne, you ain't alone.
That's what I was talking about.
If
Yeah.
that makes you a furry, then welcome me in open
Well, it
arms.
started
Is she
with
like a
Maid Marian.
chipmunk?
It started with Maid Marian
She a
in
dog?
in Robin Hood. That was my first crush.
For me, it was Roxanne. I think it's because Roxanne has giant pupils.
Sure. Yeah.
And there
But
was
Maid
a
Marian
study
is a total fox.
before Caitlin's like, Tom, does that mean you have a thing for Funkos? No. Because there was a study that they would have
Because they don't have pupils at all.
no. They had pictures of different people, and they would have multiples of the same person, and they would actually Photoshop bigger pupils.
Yeah.
And that would actually be like the defining factor of why people found
Mhm.
them more attractive.
Am I
Not bigger
pretty,
eyes,
Tom?
bigger pupils. Just looking.
Pupils.
Am I pretty?
You just cover your eyes
Am
for a
I
second,
pretty?
and then you do it.
Yeah.
You gotta have a mole right here.
Just go like this and go.
A nose
Am I
about
pretty?
30% of your face.
Like that, Caitlin. That's what you do.
Or
Am I
not.
pretty? And before they
How about now?
redilate.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that as a kid wanted a waterbed with
Oh,
goldfish
Fish
in it?
inside? Not at all. That
But
made,
the
made
the
me so
logic
stressed.
there.
wanted-
How do you feed
okay.
'em?
I can't handle it.
I-
That scene stressed me out so badly.
Those fish are gonna die.
I know, and he jumped on them.
Unless there's like some engineering that has like filtering and like
Mhm.
maybe there's a
No.
thing that
But
you
then
open
it
up and then you
leakies.
put. Yeah, I had a
He-
water.
no oxygen.
My
when he
grandma had a
jumped on
waterbed
that-
growing up, and it was
You have to.
Bad
You,
News
a
Bears.
fish need oxygen still,
yeah.
and there's no
when
oxygen.
they jumped on that bed, I was like, the pressure from gravity of jumping
fish went,
will
"Bah!"
crush one.
Well, I'll say like this, just to add to that, once they get all the extension cables for Pete's RV,
Yeah.
then you see
The water
all
hookup.
the water pouring out. So
Yeah.
I just imagine like space and then like a little bitty hole, and you get sucked through. That's probably what happened to the fish because of all that pressure.
Yeah.
we didn't
uh,
see them again.
And also the
that I
hose,
remember.
like what he took from his
When was
RV,
that?
Mhm.
it kind
a
of looked like it
lot.
was just going right into the AC, and I was like,
Mhm. that's how that works. Goofy movie.
Another
okay.
favorite part,
Goofy.
the pizza.
I was gonna say
Oh.
the pizza. You
The pizza.
have to talk about the pizza.
This is the best. This is one of the best looking pizzas
90s
I've ever
cartoon
seen.
Best
pizzas.
Yes.
cheese.
Doug had great pizza. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
We
Goofy
could take a
movie.
piece of pizza from right here, take some cheese, and take it all the way to Tom.
thing
Yeah,
about
well,
it-
and he like twirls it
Yes.
and puts it back on top,
The-
which is
and also like
Sexy.
the top
Yeah.
of the
sexy
cheese
is the way to do it.
is like sewn into the crust
Yeah.
so it doesn't fall off.
Mhm.
Oh,
I'm like, wow.
those were the
Why don't we
days.
do that?
Like house, wow.
Oh
We're gonna
God,
try
I'm
and make
hungry.
that one
Oh
day.
God,
Like
I just got so hungry.
like
Yeah,
I don't
same.
again, I
Big,
don't know
big,
why
big,
Disney
same.
doesn't capitalize on those small things that they know. It's like this is the Goofy movie pizza. Like, oh my god. Like just the idea of
Well, they
it.
have the Matterhorn macaroon, which is delicious.
Well, what movie is that from?
The Matterhorn.
I also loved
mountain.
when they went through the little Corey's probably favorite part,
The
the
Canyon?
the canyon,
No,
The
where
river?
it was dad and son
Buddy
Oh
time.
yeah.
Like every
Oh.
single little lizard had their little
Poppy.
little yeah,
This
the
is
little
probably
poppy
Corey's
boy.
favorite part.
Well, it was nothing
This
but
is the
dad
dad son
stuff.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was
the
like
dad-son song.
chipmunk and baby chipmunk,
Well,
and they're like,
yeah.
"Tee, we're good family time."
Well, the cool thing that happens with that, right, is like the
I don't like when dads and sons get along all the time. I need the conflict.
Yeah, but like that was the
Yeah.
resolution of the conflict.
I
So
agree,
it's
I agree.
perfect Corey recipe.
At that point in the movie, yeah.
yeah,
the,
see,
the On the Road song has them singing in the same tone,
Yeah.
melody,
Mhm.
harmony, whatever. But they're singing off.
Mhm.
Versus here, they sing at the same time.
Mhm.
So
together.
it shows like again a development. I'm like, this is all. It's just for me. I'm like, wow.
And he does the perfect cast.
Yeah.
And everybody cries.
And then physics
No,
doesn't
just me?
work because all
Yeah.
like the moment like your dad's up, it's like all of a sudden I just can relax the fishing line. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the?
The okay
makes no
when
sense.
when he does the perfect cast and they get up there and they hug each other and that actually like lasts for a moment. I felt that like teenage like this hug's lasting too long, and then all of a sudden I'm like, Oh my God, you're
No,
right.
it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
I'm hugging myself and it helps.
It's a really good scene too when he throws the line. He's like,
Yeah.
and then it's just like you don't hear it. And it's like, oh my God, it's going on to fucking eternity. It's gonna end up in China.
I have one more, but I want to hear other people's favorite parts.
It was another like fun experience to hear Pauly Shore again.
Yeah. Leaning Tower of Cheese.
Cheese,
yeah.
I probably said that to the point where my mom was like, I get it. It's funny.
But
Everyone-
Cheese Whiz, everybody.
But
Have you had
everyone,
that?
I think
I-
that movie also made an influx of Cheese Whiz.
Oh,
Like, I feel like as
100%.
a kid, I'm like, I need that.
I
I
know
need that
that
now.
this is like
PJ's pretty
very
good, too.
not okay, but I really actually do want some Cheese Whiz right now.
Yeah.
Like, but I wish they made sriracha Cheese Whiz.
Yeah. Yeah.
They probably do.
Yeah.
They probably do. So they make sriracha
You
everything now.
I
understand.
forget what I
Mom.
was watching, but they literally like, was anything natural that we put in our bodies in the early 2000s?
No.
No.
But with PJ,
Purple
Yeah.
ketchup.
it's so funny because I was rewatching. I was like, that's just Carl from
Carl
Jimmy
Weezer.
from Jimmy Neutron, which is just it's just Rob Paulson. I'm like, oh my God, I'm
Just
such
a
an
little
idiot.
less dweeby.
Well, no, it's so funny because like as a kid, I'm just watching these. I'm like, okay, that's the friend. And
Yeah.
then I watch Jimmy Neutron, like, oh, that's the friend. And then now that I know, like, oh, there are actors and there are people who play these children,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that's a talent.
Yeah.
Like that's
I
why it
was
sounds the same.
I was running a live show that he was on, and the night before I watched it with Dana, and then
Do
we
you
were
do
like,
PJ or do you do Carl?
"That's weird." Oh my goodness, there he is.
But it's I actually really enjoy PJ too. Like when
Yeah.
you first see him in the RV and he's
when
just,
he's
like,
dancing, and he even says he's singing this song, and at one point he puts Max's name in the song. He's like, "I see you, Max, Max."
'Cause I got the move. Yeah, and it's just like it's a fun, good relationship. That
Yeah.
I actually really.
But it goes to show that Pete's totally wrong because he doesn't
Mhm.
love his dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
He just fears him.
Fears him,
yeah,
but he doesn't connect with him.
but at
Yeah.
me as a kid, I was like, that's my family dynamic.
Oh.
Like my dad was like, boy. I'm like, all right.
Oh.
I'm
But your
heading
dad
out.
loved you more than Pete loves PJ. I
Under
guarantee
the
it.
thumb.
Oh yeah. It is under the thumb. It is very under the. There's a lot
Julie,
of that.
zoom
I'm
into
like,
here.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it.
Tom.
Such he gaslighted Goofy the whole
yeah,
movie.
but that's his overstep for me. I'll say like that works for his family. But
Sure.
it doesn't work for everyone's family,
Yeah.
right? Like taking off your shoes in the house is not for everyone. Maybe it's
That
for,
principal also gaslighted the hell out of Goofy.
Oh my
Who-
God.
You know, it's
The
so
electric chair.
And you're like,
it's so funny how that's the inconceivable.
Yeah.
It's him, but I just imagine a different actor.
Just realized
As
that.
a- as a-
Oh, yeah.
The realization just dawned
was
on
him.
my face.
Also, when he comes out on stage and it's dead fucking
Yeah.
silent, killed me every time because principals.
I
Yeah.
like that they made nerdy characters like the
Stacy.
Yeah. That they
Yeah.
made she was very nerdy, but she was
Very
also
cool.
like everyone
That is-
loved her.
That is Melissa Joan Hart from Can't Hardly Wait. Will you sign my yearbook? Very kind of nerdy. I hold the party, but everyone is. I'm not the romantic interest, but everyone knows me. I'm popular but nerdy.
Yeah.
At the same time.
And she still gets a boo at the end.
Mm-hmm.
She
That blue
does.
thing.
She does.
I don't know if it's a good thing or not with him. but-
Favorite characters?
Favorite characters? Yes, we'll do one of the main. Do we do Corey's? He said he was waiting for everyone's favorite. Last.
Oh, I had one more. Yeah, when he slaps the possum mascot's head around, and in
Oh.
the background the kids tackle him
Oh,
and
yeah.
drag him off screen in a horror movie esque
That was
side
really
screen pull.
actually
Like
terrifying.
critters, like
Yeah.
just like
Like he's like wandering, and then he gets tackled, and then pulled off screen so quickly in the side. Like, oh God, he's dead.
yeah.
visual humor.
It,
I love
it was. There is a reason that a lot of comedians, you'll find a lot of comedians credit Goofy as one of their heroes
Mhm.
Huh.
because he is a wonderful. The people who write for Goofy, the type of people who write for Goofy, understand physical comedy at a insane level.
The whole
And that is one
explosion
of
at the
reasons.
very end. With
Oh
the,
my God!
With the
just the
bumper.
shoes
Yeah.
and then yeah, brilliant.
Um,
Anyway, that possum thing, I had to pause because I laughed so hard I cried.
Um.
I can see
So favorite character. So we'll do one of the mains.
And a
So
side.
Goof and Max, and then one of the sides. Josh.
Goofy.
Mm-hmm.
It's number one, all day, every day. And side, I love Peach.
Mm-hmm.
Peach.
PJ.
Peach.
He's such a good friend. He
He's a
tries
good
to give
guy.
him a little moral, moral and morale.
Mhm.
Like, he's just like,
I don't know,
just
dude.
he's a good ass dude.
Yeah.
Can't mess with my dad's camera.
He's just a good ass dude. And Goofy, I mean, Goofy.
Everyone in the school knows. I was like, oh no. Yeah. So Goof and
Fine.
Peach.
Goof and Peach.
Give it to me, Tom.
Give me
As a
to me,
kid,
Tom.
Max. As an
An adult?
adult, Goof.
Goof. Yeah, all right.
And,
All right. Let me scratch my notes here.
but the second is Pete. I really enjoy Pete as a character. He offers such like a good. He pushes Goof,
Yeah.
and without that.
That hot tub scene.
Go check the map, Goof. Like
Yeah.
it's such a good scene, and they shoot low angle and high angle, but like it's just like it's like they ought to put more. They put too much water in this thing. Like it's so good.
Being the like to the previous point of like how they kind of subvert this Goofy and the story. It's like he is an antagonist just in a different way.
Goofy?
No,
Or Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
Like it's like he's still an antagonist, but he's still his best friend.
Everyone's a hero in their own story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're following Max because we get the this is the world and this is my want song. He's like, I want to do this. And so like technically we're following Max, and then Goof technically like attacks his desires. And then Goof is also being pushed in a wrong direction with another antagonistic force.
Yeah.
So like everyone's not getting what they want, but then once they finally start listening to each other, then they start getting it.
Yep.
So it's cool.
As a kid, Max. As an adult, Goof.
Mhm.
And then Bigfoot.
Oh,
100% Bigfoot. It's to this day. It doesn't.
to this
It's-
day.
To this day, it has aged wonderfully.
but legit, I want to eat those steaks.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Oh.
that's
and
great.
also
Hi,
that
Dad Soup.
that smiley over easy.
Oh,
egg.
the eggs and the
And then how
bacon.
they-
Also, how he points out, because it's a kids movie, when he uses the cigarette lighter, and he's like, "Whoa, finally this thing has some sort of use." And I was like,
It made me miss SpaghettiOs.
Oh yeah.
"Yeah,
I used
Yeah.
I used to.
I would
eat
want.
that.
I'd want.
SpaghettiO."
Kayla,
I'm not participating in that.
it's too late to. So go
I
ahead.
know. That's why I said I'm not. I copy paste
As
as a kid Max, as an adult Goofy.
You really feel
Um,
for Goof as an
You
adult. You're
really
like,
do.
"Yo, dude's just trying to hang out with this kid."
I mean,
really-
that line, he's like, I just want to be part of it.
And
you're
like, as an adult, I'm like, I want to go on a fishing trip.
I think the saddest
My.
thing I heard about, I don't remember what it was even in, but I heard someone talking about like as a parent, it's very painful. There's like several years that are very painful because you have this like built-in best friend that you're teaching
Mhm.
about life.
That was me.
that you?
My mom showed me that video. She goes,
Yeah.
"You have a best friend, and you don't know what you don't get to say goodbye. Someday they just show up as a different person.
Person.
You're like, oh, I didn't get to say goodbye to my best
My
friend. And now I have this new friend, which is wonderful." And yeah, and eventually they grow up, and yeah, it was about mothers and sons, and she sent that to me, and I was like, "Geez, tell me how you really feel."
Yeah.
But then on the
I feel
kid
like-
point of view, there's a
Yeah.
moment your parents never picked you back up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I told that to my dad, and he picked me up.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now I know which one it was. Now I know the moment.
Aw.
You know.
That's sweet. He'll probably
now I
try
know.
it again next time you bring
so
that
who's
up.
your second?
Powerline.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Powerline is like this just it has permeated culture. He's everywhere. He was like the inspiration for Max to try something new and try, and he was good at it.
I
Like
think-
he had a lot of potential
I
there.
think last year Target started selling the Powerline tour shirts.
Nice.
So it's pretty good.
And he
Oh,
taught us
God, I
that
don't
if
have
we
one.
listen to each other's hearts, it's way too low. Way too low. And maybe love is the reason
We're
why.
gonna get DMCA. Anyway,
we're
nice
that good.
singing.
We're killing it.
We're that
Killing
good?
it.
that's what I
Killing
meant.
it.
You're welcome.
Sign
Wow.
the checks.
Yo, we'll end that there. As always, nerd on.
No.
So now
200
we go to
200 episodes.
Qualms.
Qualmies. The
Uh,
clams.
Yeah, let's go, Corey.
I have two.
I hated how fathers and sons were together in this.
Kayla, I'm going to show this to you. Felt bad for the fish in the bed.
I knew it.
I did. I was like, that's y'all are animals.
Yeah.
So are they. That's some classist
Well, I mean,
shit.
they didn't show
Yeah.
Bluto for a reason.
And the only other again, neither of these changed my score.
Yeah.
But they were just things that ruminated with me after the movie. I wish Max would have just asked, like, "This trip sounds great, Dad. Can we go tomorrow?" Just even try that before we come up with a crazy lie about
But
knowing
you
Michael
know-
Jackson.
But you know.
But it's a movie, and
Yeah.
if that worked, we wouldn't have a movie.
Yeah.
and also
so-
teenagers are really angsty.
well,
and
like so,
don't
like that's the
necessarily wanna
thing.
say things.
I had a kind of relationship like that with my dad. He does not. That's fine. But I wish I would have been like, can we just tomorrow?
But
Tomorrow, please, Dad, tomorrow.
To be fair to
If
the
he really
right,
wanted to do anything to get to this party,
Goofy thought Max would go into prison.
exactly. To be fair, the
That's true.
writers really threw these characters at a point where like we get the nightmare
Which I agree
sequence, that Max wants to be everything far away, and then Goofy's like just
Both of
Which
them.
is why it doesn't change my score. It was just something that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Like, even ask?
just talk it out.
But
Just
I don't-
conversation.
that
Communication?
being said, I don't really have any qualms.
They're,
just the
they're
fish.
at that point they're both getting each other's way.
Yep.
Josh?
So the reason why I watched this 3 times is
'Cause
I
I
was
didn't have any.
trying to find qualms. Because I was like, no.
You don't have to have any.
No, I don't have any.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it was
Save yours, 'cause
refreshing.
you're the-
It was refreshing to watch a movie that is an hour and 18 minutes and get a story that wrapped up in 18 minutes. And I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
they
yeah.
didn't need to do a sequel.
Every time we start naming minutes on this show, I have to flashback to Tom and I trying to figure
Oh
out
my
what
God,
2 hours.
2 hours, 40 minutes, so 3.5 hours. No,
No.
let me fucking talk.
But yeah,
So yeah, it's just a really enjoyable show.
it is.
Movie.
It's a picture show.
It's a picture show.
It is
It's
a
a really
musical.
enjoyable talkie.
It's got the colors.
Yeah, see?
Tom? Or, sorry, I thought you were done.
No,
I'm so
I was
sorry.
just gonna say that I liked it. It's a good movie.
This
It's
isn't
a
the
good
rating.
movie.
It's
It's
a good.
good.
It's a good movie.
It's a
Mhm.
goofy movie.
200th episode, guys. So,
Mhm.
Tom, what do we got?
I actually would have wanted to see how they got into the concert. Because we got to see this nice montage of them like fixing the tire, going to the Bat Cave, and then the mime at New Orleans and all that stuff like that.
Before their conflict.
yeah,
like, when
before
they
all
were,
that
like,
stuff. So like we got to see things happen, and
Biggest ball of yarn.
yeah, and like I would have wanted to see how they got out of the Bigfoot situation. Like, did he just roll over and just walk away, or did they just drive off?
got
or how they
bored.
got the keys, and it's like
You
okay,
gave him some of that high dad soup.
and so I'm like, what? I was like, I just want to know what it was.
You want to know some of the adult details?
Yeah, I want to see a darker, grittier version where they murdered
Zack
Bigfoot.
Snyder's Goofy movie. No,
It's just a,
And it's 4 hours long.
instead
and
that's not a camera, it's a gun. They
Yeah.
just shoot Bigfoot and they take
Yeah.
him in. It's like, what now, Pete? And it's like me and my son are. Gonna
and they
go-
really do go be like millionaires.
they do
because
go be it.
They do go be
They
millionaires.
do go be millionaires.
We've been doing this hundreds of times.
200 episodes coming at you live at here.
Michael McDonald,
When
Yamo
recorded.
Yamo B.
Yamo be there. Yamo millionaires.
Yeah, but then so they shoot Bigfoot and
Yeah.
then Carry On My Wayward Son plays.
Yes.
In my defense, it's 10 p.m.
And it's a Corvette.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's an Impala.
But yeah, so I would want to see those situations play out. And then another, I mean, this is a thing that I can't but help.
but
You're gonna
Um,
butt help it. Nice.
it I feel bad because like it's a kids movie and I get it, and it's just like, hey, look, the boy wants to be with the girl. Roxanne has almost nothing to do in this movie
Yeah.
other than to be fond over. And I liked like, you know, she's in clouds, she's in the water, and I'm like, and she's cute as shit.
yeah.
But I'm like, but why?
There's not really.
It's
We
like
don't
she's
know
just a
enough
pretty
about
girl.
her.
Yeah.
And like you see like
That's a good point.
you see like Hot Disco Girl, and I'm like, she's like a true babe because they drew her that way. But like, why do we like Roxanne? I don't know. Max likes Roxanne.
She teaches him the lesson at the end.
They give a little
What
bit
lesson?
of
Like-
like that she's a smart go getter lady because she's
just-
friends, like close friends with the like.
Well, she's just nice.
He didn't have to lie in the first place.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
he's like, I always liked you. I'm like, well, no shit. If you got your dumb incel way, Max, then you would have fucking figured that shit out.
Okay. Okay.
if you if you had some confidence in yourself, you could have just talked to her because she was laying it on. She's like, oh yeah, I could go with you.
You had some goddamn confidence. You could talk to her and your dad and maybe be an adult like you want to be.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't get the movie.
Instead of putting the metal to the pedal and making up lies.
Zack Snyder's the Goofy movie. So yeah, those are my two things.
Kaylin.
Those are the only ones. The only ones. That just brain blasted all of my
Jimmy
thoughts
Neutron?
right out of
200
my head.
episodes coming at you
Guys.
here.
So
Knights of the Old Republic.
No. Okay, so when the musical part started and it was like, oh, we're gonna do this, you know, the take over the school
Music is happening.
presentation. I forgot how it went, and I had this like horrific hot rod flashback that it was gonna just go real bad, but somehow pan out in a way that I hated,
But
and then it
actually went
was
real well.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm only
This isn't a
upset.
qualm.
My qualm is that it reminded
isn't
me
a
of Hot
qualm.
Rod.
So not a not,
isn't-
you're like
Not
my
even a
qualms.
qualm.
Like my qualms. Where
Yeah.
you're like,
And
what
then
about the fish?
yeah, and then my other qualm is that I put hard quotes on that. Was
Watch
when
it on
they were
YouTube,
having
200 episodes.
when they were having their fight on the road,
Yeah.
and they
Go out the railing
go off the railing and drive on.
Oh, when they're chasing
Yeah.
the car.
in a Goofy movie.
No. When
In a cartoon?
Yeah, they're going off the barrier.
Yeah.
of
when
the-
they
of
go
the-
off the barrier
It
and
turns into like a train track
drive
on it,
onto it,
like a roller
that
coaster.
made me so
then the
nervous that my
rocks.
muscles tensed to like crush something.
Funny story. So when I was in college,
Yeah.
I was taking way too many classes.
Oh no, I'm
and
already
working
worried
a
about
lot.
what
I
you're
bet he was.
gonna
I was
say.
taking way too many shrooms.
I was taking no, I wasn't taking any drugs.
I know.
I fell asleep on the freeway
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
and
And he
hit-
rode. He rode
and
on
hit
the barriers.
a bar of a cliff. That I started being real protective of my sleep from there on
Yeah,
out.
I bet you
But
did.
yeah,
Why?
it's terrifying. What?
Anyway,
but why?
those are my qualms.
So wait, so that happened, and then a car that floats, and then a jack that spins like a
And the
helicopter.
car's still
That
okay.
reminds me of this story my wife tells when she was babysitting these kids and they were
Is it with
watching
the
mouse.
mouse
The
and
mouse
the-
who's a ballerina has a car, has a
Oh,
house,
that's right.
and it jumps and he goes, she can't jump that high. And she's like, that's the
She's a
thing.
ballerina.
She's a ballerina. She has a car. Where do you draw the line?
She can't jump like that though, Corey.
She can't jump that high.
Yeah, that's really
I don't
high.
care how
She's a
talented you
mouse.
are. You can't
Yeah.
dust a trophy with your butt and a handkerchief in the back.
How
You
high can she
can.
jump
You
then?
cannot.
Actually.
You cannot. That's impossible.
Well-
If we get 70
Only-
patrons,
We are going to prove that logic false.
OnlyFans, or it doesn't
all
have
right,
Wait,
all right, time for
that's
ratings.
it.
So now for ratings.
Our
So who's
200th ratings. I'll go first because
Go
it's
ahead.
you and me.
Yeah.
This is a 5 on the nose. 5. It's a 5.
On the nose?
On the goof nose. I realized that I had scribbled it out so no one could see. Caitlin saw me write it on the back of the
I
page.
did.
But it's a 5. 100%.
I'm gonna
from
take a
start to
picture
Caitlin,
of
what does
this?
mine say?
Tom says goofy rating 5.
Hey, there it is.
I'm just,
Yeah.
do the rules. It's 5. If
It's
I
a
said
5.
this is the best Disney animated film, now I'm going to have to recontextualize all the other animated films we might have done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and going forward,
Yeah.
all of them are not going to be this.
So this
high.
is like the litmus test.
This is
for
to me the
Disney
highest.
animated
this is
films.
the highest. they'll
Okay,
go.
this might be up there for me.
This might be the highest.
I can't, off the top of my head, go good conscience. Go, yeah, this is it.
I
But
didn't see it.
so Josh, you're next though. So we got 2 5s. You want to
Well,
round us out at 3?
Here it comes. Here it comes. Holy shit!
Did you say
Did you
Surprise!
see that? It's a
Oh,
5.
shit!
Is that actually?
No, it's not.
It was like, oh my god, movie magic.
Movie
That would have been amazing. Watch our YouTube video. 200 episodes
Wow.
coming at you
What you
live.
should have done was, oh my god.
A 1?
Just flip her off.
So 5, 5, 5, 5. Kaylin, how? So the Nerd on Nation may be they're wrong, but and they might be right actually. Caitlin, what's your score?
She wants to be dramatic.
He's drawing a giant 5 on her shit.
Listen to each other's
Other's
scores. 5.
Hey!
Hey, there it is.
There's a 5. I've blown it up as big as
So,
I can.
I would say that
Everyone's right.
everyone's right.
So you got to read them all.
So we're
out, babe.
all the goof.
We're all the goof, gumber, guesser,
Ah.
gator, power line, perfect
Goof
casting,
grumps.
great for grass fed grubbers.
I really was confused when you said perfect caster because I was like, it was a
So
good
we had.
cast.
I almost read patron name. I was like, shout out to patron name. They got it right. So everyone, all 9 got it right. We got General G, Noe S, Matt R, Mora, Justin, Mitchell G, Kristen F, Dana P, and Jabir A. Y'all got it right. And if I'm
Thanks for
pronouncing
voting.
any of these names wrong, message us on Discord.
Yell at him
Please.
So-
Mhm.
He responds
shout him
well
out.
to that.
in all caps.
Yeah.
He
Um,
likes
My name
it.
is this.
Goofy movie.
But that's it.
Goofy
200
movie.
episodes.
Wow.
Thank
We
you,
did
everyone.
it.
Yeah.
You could watch it now on Disney Plus.
Our-
Goofy
our
movie.
show?
The goofy.
It's gonna be
Oh.
like,
goofy.
damn!
A goofy
A
movie.
goofy
Tom wouldn't be
like-
happy about that.
We're rich.
How?
How?
So if you haven't already, go watch it and then come back and let us know because we'd like to share this. We picked a film that's kind of older because we know that some people
but
may-
approachable, accessible.
We'll not be able to go to theaters and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So
We chose this last week. No, I'm just kidding.
as a fluke.
Well, no, we chose this because we were like, we have to pick something for our 200th episode that we know is just going to be just. We mentioned Goofy movie and we all went,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for listening, for joining us for 200 episodes of Nerd on the Podcast.
200 episodes.
200
believe?
episodes. Can you even
We're
believe it?
longer than some animes.
Oh my God, that's true.
Yeah, someday somebody's gonna do a podcast of our show.
Yeah.
Be like, nah,
Wow.
dude, I'm not gonna
Holy
do that.
shit.
Oh,
Unless we're
Um,
really controversial and something bad comes out, then someone will just do a video essay about
It's
it.
probably gonna
Anyway,
be
it's
something
Tom.
that Tom does
for sure.
Possibly.
So Tom called Max.
I don't know.
against
I
Sarah.
like being a wild card.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. Let us know what you thought
On our
Of-
Discord.
on the Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord.
Wild card.
Wildcard. Do check out the Nerd On Nation. We've mentioned it a lot recently. It has helped us to continue to grow, to continue being the best that we can be. A lot of what we have done, our content upgrades, the high quality, all of that
Camis.
stuff. These microphones that we're using, that we're finally getting to
Camis.
use after 14 months,
Yeah.
that we had just purchased maybe a few months before the
Ooh.
pandemic.
Ooh, this smells like 2020. Oh, that's bad.
It smells like bad. It smells like bad.
But yeah, thank you so much. Like we mentioned up at the top, please stop by, rate and review. You'll get shouted out.
Shout
Rate
it
and
out.
review.
You will.
Shout it
Do
out
you
at-
know, do you know what happens when you give us reviews?
What?
It's like
What's it like?
reconnecting with a family member that you were previously like at odds with.
Oh, yeah.
Like in a really loving way, where
sure.
they save your life at the end of a waterfall. Like that's how.
Oh.
Or
Did you
Wonderful.
save
It's
them
very
with a fishing
cinematic.
line?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
Yo,
you like
that's
go to a
crazy.
concert together.
Oh,
Like
nice.
that's
That
how
tracks.
lovely it is.
And you just get to
get
watch the
reviews.
concert?
Yeah, you get to like see the concert.
Or you'd be in it.
and
and then maybe both.
Who knows?
and they stand out above the crowd, even
Yeah.
if they gotta shout it out.
It's like when you
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to each other's hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it's like. And if you leave us a review, I will shout you out on the next episode.
Yeah.
Like this. Ha!
So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you all. Take care of yourselves.
200 episodes
200 episodes.
coming at you.
For the 200th time, you know the drill. As always,
Nerd on!
Ending broadcast.